Seasons lost. In Austin, I saw pause. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skins on dice and woes of life. Love and pride, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal chandeliers, motives reflected off the mirrors and pit clip, ready from ear to ear. Craving and raving the grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, in paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, in paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you can see.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, it is Friday, and you know it is game 4. And the Thunder have their backs up against the wall once again, as we have the last 4 games, or our last 4 series, 4 of our last 5 series, because I was talking to the commander Randy Wright earlier, and we were talking about how game 3s, and I said this on the show the other day about how we are in game 3s. Last year we lost to Dallas in the semifinals of game 3, came back and won game 4. Now we beat the Pelicans we swept them just like we did Memphis. So do you really want to count that? I guess you count it if you're going to count that around. So semifinals this year, Denver, we lose game 3, win game 4. Minnesota, we don't lose, we get destroyed, which I thought was good because I knew we were going to come back and beat them after being embarrassed. And then win game 4. Indiana Pacers, win game 3, lose game 3, now it's game 4. Now, I mean, the Dallas series, what was it? It was 2-1 Dallas. We win game 4 to go 2-2. The Denver series, lose game 3, 2-1. We win game 4 to go 2-2. Minnesota, it was 2-0, go to 2-1 again, and we win game 4 to go up 3-1. Now, in the other series, obviously, it was us just tying up to get to game 5s in Paycom, which, the commander and I were talking about the difference between how people were talking about Bainbridge versus Paycom. They're not the same. They're not the same arena. And when we build a new one, it needs to have that same home court feel. It needs to have that same loudness. It needs to be where the acoustics are going to make it loud again. And when you build a new arena, you can do that. Okay, and when we went to watch the game the other night, and I was sitting there watching it, and I was looking at how the different arenas or how Bainbridge is laid out. I was like, oh, I like this, I don't like that. And I thought when you build a new arena, you have to build it around that. And you like what they did at the Intuit Dome for the Clippers. Added a bunch more added a bunch more urinals and stuff like that so people could go through faster. And if you've been to a Thunder game, you know what I'm talking about. You got to wait in line. Like I always go right before halftime. I'll go right before the game ends. I never go at the end of a quarter. And if I got to go after the game ends, I wait till we're walking our way out and I use the bathroom all the way in. You still got to, at the end before we go down the escalator from club level, you still got to wait in line. So to me, you always go because in small places like that, they don't think about that. And that's a thought, especially for guys. Now, not for women so much, but for guys, dude, it's a pain in the butt. They have to stand in line. So, and for little kids and things like that. So, Thunder, get a bunch more bathrooms, get a bunch more urinals so people can go to the bathroom. The faster they go in, the faster they come out, the more money they spend at concession stands or the beer or at the bar. That's a fact. Because you're not waiting in line for 5 minutes or 8 minutes or 9 minutes, and you only have a 15-minute halftime. So by the time you get out there, you have to hurry back to your seat. You're late coming to the third quarter. And like you notice, a lot of teams, people aren't back at the start of their seats at the start of the third quarter. I know that very rarely am I or the commander or we're very rarely back. So That being said, you look at what it's going to be. It's going to be loud in there, but not like Paycom. The Thunder have a history. The last four series, when you count semifinals, finals, and the finals, conference finals. The last two semifinals, we lost game three, won game four. Conference finals, won game three, lost game three, won game four. Now we're back in the same situation. Down 2-1, game four. And what has been the consistent thing in that? Dallas. SGA made 4 or 5 straight buckets in a row to beat Dallas in Dallas for us to win that game, to bring it back to game 5 last year. Game 4 against Denver. He made the game-winning shots to win game 4 against Denver this year. Game 4 against Minnesota again. What did he do? Dominate again. So I expect him to do what he does after every game 3. When he doesn't play that well for whatever reason, he goes into disappear mode or whatever you want to call it. And Jennifer and I are sitting there, and she's going crazy because she's like, I hate it when he gets like this. And she's madder than I am about it because he just gets to the point where he's just at half court standing there. And he's letting everybody else try to score and whatever. And I'm like, once again, here's the Thunder. We have one playmaker, Coach Dagnall. No matter what you try to do, we have one playmaker, Sam Presti. That's SGA. We have the rest of the guys who just make plays. When you try to turn them into playmakers, every time you do that, we fail. Every time. Because when he's rolling, everybody else relaxes and allows them to make plays. It doesn't make them into try. They got to try to make something happen. That's not who J-Dub is. That's not who Chet is. That's not who Kason is. That's not who Wiggins is. That's not who Dort is. That's not who Ihart is. That's not who Chet. That's not who they are. Caruso. It's not who they are. They're guys who make plays. You have one playmaker. Let him lead us. Everybody else flow through. Please. Next thing. When you look at the game tonight, it's about them when you saw what they did this last game. Let's look at the stats from the last game. Okay? Let's look at the stats from the last game because this will kind of help you understand what I'm trying to say. They were 9 for 27 at home from 3 against us. We're 10 for 22. Everybody talking, there wasn't a whole lot of threes being shot. No, there wasn't a lot because they didn't need to. Because why? They got out in transition, which we lead the NBA in not giving up transitional baskets. But they did. So 9 of 27. But here are the keys. They shot 51% from the field. They had 50 points in the paint. We had more turnovers than they did. And the bench outscored us by 30. 30. The bench outscored us by 30. So what did that mean? We knew their bench was going to play better, just like Dallas's did in Game 3, just like Denver's did in Game 3, just like Minnesota's did in Game 3. Your bench is going to come home. They're going to play well. But now, to do that again is difficult. But I think we lost the game in the second quarter. We come out, we have a 5-point lead. All of a sudden, they score, Kaysen throws the ball away. Just not even paying attention, just getting rid of the ball. Just casually, okay, well, they scored. TJ McConnell hustling. They score again. J-Dub not paying attention. He's just going to catch it and go up and down the court. Doesn't see where the defense is, not paying attention. TJ McConnell gets another steal. Fourth quarter. Coming back in the game, Caruso throwing the ball out of bounds, not paying attention. TJ McConnell once again. Things that the Thunder never do, we did. For whatever reason, the game threes are, I don't want to say unprepared. We're not prepared, but we're not prepared. Or we're not mentally into it for whatever reason. And I don't understand why that we're not. I'm drinking my Y&B waters. My Y&B water. By the way, Randy supposedly sent 66 bottles. him in that 66 to Indianapolis for the Thunder, YNB Waters. Anyway, I don't get it why we're not in Game 3. I don't get it. But I do know we are a different team in Game 4. We're 0 for 4 in Game 3s and 3 for 3 in Game 4s. Bringing back to Oklahoma City instead of being down 3-1, 2-2. Now, I thought that we were going to go 1-1 in this series. Hey, John, what's up? The curse of Game 3s. Yes, it is. I don't. You just go back and look at us. I don't know what it is with this team in Game 3s. But Game 4s, we're a totally different team. And it's almost like we go in saying, okay, well, they're going to win Game 3. That's almost the way we play. They're going to win Game 3. Let's let them have it. We'll win Game 4 and come back for Game 5 on Monday. But here's another advantage that we have. This Game 4, there's only 1 day rest. We play much better with 1 day rest. So I think it's going to be better for us. Play Wednesday, get that taste out of your mouth, turn around and play Friday. Back to back, boom, boom. Now, again, we play Monday in Game 5. But that's what you're dealing with. That's what you're dealing with. And to me, I look at our team, you're going to see a completely different team. You're going to see a different SGA. Now, when J-Dub and Chet hopefully shows up together, that's great. But once again, J-Dub had more points than SGA did. We're never going to win, just like Game 3 and what did he have, 34, 36, whatever he had at Denver. We're never going to win with J-Dub being the man. SGA has to have 30-something. J-Dub has to have 20-something. We're not going to win with J-Dub having 30. It's not going to happen. It's just not. It has to be the other way around for us to win. And then people are trying to compare SGA to Kobe and Mike. No. Now, with stats-wise, yes, he and Michael are right there, but he don't have their mentality. I can promise you, if those coaches tell them not to shoot the ball, he's going to shoot the ball. What did he say? There's no I in team. And what did he and Kobe say? But there's an I in win at blah, blah, blah. That's what he said. I can't really say what he normally said, but that's what they both said. There's not an I in team, but there's an I in win. That's how they look at it. SGA doesn't have that mentality in Game 3, which drives me nuts. John, hot in Phoenix. Hope they give my blood pressure a little break tonight. Yeah, I know. I bet it is hot in Phoenix right now. It's June. But you know what, John? It's dry heat. That's what they tell me. I say it's still hot as hell. But they say, oh, man, it's dry heat. Whatever. It's still heat to me. So, anyway, that being said, when you look at Game 4 and you look at what's going to happen tonight, I think we're going to come out with a different mentality. You're going to see a different team. You're going to see a different outtake on what we're going to give player-wise, stat-wise, effort-wise, focus-wise, because that was not our team Thursday or Wednesday night. That's not who we were at all, but I do believe we were going to bounce back tonight. I do believe we're going to do what we need to do tonight. Just like we did in the previous Game 3s, because the previous 4 Game 3s we played just like we played this Game 3. So my mind tells me, history tells me that we're going to do the same thing and play the same way in this Game 4 that we have in the previous Game 4s. Because we have that ability to do that. And I am excited about it, especially coming back for Game 5. But now I think my prediction is still going to be the same. I believe we're going to beat them in 6. That's what I've said in the very beginning, 5-6. But I thought it was going to be 6. I just did. I just didn't see them beating us. I thought it would be 5. If we won both games here, I thought we were going to split with them and we'd win Game 5 at home. But since we lost, I thought we're going to split with them and we're going to win. We'll beat them in there. And, the question is, what's better? Celebrating at home in front of the fans or celebrating in somebody else's gym and coming back to Oklahoma City? What's better? What's more What's better now? For when the Lakers beat the Celtics in Boston, it was so much better because they had never beaten Boston. That was the first time Boston had ever lost a series on their home floor. So in that particular instance, yeah, that was greater. For me, I'm torn. I would like it to be here at Game 7 in front of the home fans, and we're celebrating at home and it's going crazy. But I ain't going to be mad if we beat them at Game 6 and everybody's at the airport waiting, greeting the team coming back. I ain't going to be mad at that at all. Are you? It's kind of like Minnesota. I wasn't mad. I didn't want to, if we could beat them in 5, let's beat them in 5. Let's not go to 6 or 7. Let's take care of business when you can take care of business. So let's go ahead and win Games 4, Games 5, Game 6. We're more than capable of beating them 3 in a row. But you got to get them tonight. It's going to be harder to be down 3-1 and win 3 in a row than it is to be down 2-1 and win 3 in a row. It's much easier to accomplish that feat doing it that way. And I think the Thunder can do that based on what our team is and what we can do as a group. 100%. And I'm excited about that. So let's talk about the keys to the game tonight. Here are the keys, my keys to this game tonight. Okay? Oh, my God. Where are my keys? Here we go. Here are my keys for the game tonight. Let's see. Number 1, SGA has to stay aggressive. Oh, hi, Talon. My boy Talon Wright, Talon Davis. He came to my camp. The commander's grandson. He's great. Anyway, SGA has to stay aggressive for the 48 minutes. Number 1. By the way, Talon, I want to say I'm very proud of you. You did very good at basketball camp Monday and Tuesday. I'm proud of you, how better you are getting. Very proud of you, young man. Okay. Number 1, SGA has to stay aggressive for the full 48. Now, everybody talked about him in 30 and 5. If you stay aggressive and you're making down shots, but when you jump, shoot the ball. Don't be trying to look to pass, shoot the basketball. Number 2, coach, please play the correct lineups. Please play the correct lineups. Understanding by that, what I mean is don't be 2 minutes too long, which is what my guy Mark Long calls him. He calls him 2 minutes too long. And he's been doing that for 4 years, ever since we've been doing this show. That's been his nickname for Dagno. If a team makes a run and you call timeout, you have to change your lineup. You can't go back and put the same lineup back in. Because when we make a run and the coach calls timeout, he's going to change his lineup. So you have to change your lineup. You can't go with the same lineups again. So by that, you can't be 2 minutes too long to stay in, because the other night they made a run in the second quarter. You you call timeout, you get the same lineup, then a minute later you got to call timeout and put SJ in, which is what you should have done in the first place for J-Dub. Third thing, your second quarter lineup, what did they do? They talked to the opposing coaches in the Western Conference. When you start J-Dub, Kason, Caruso, Wiggins, and Ihart, you have no ball handler, which is what you did against Minnesota to playing A.J. Mitchell. Which you have to, because you need a ball handler. You need somebody to get them in there. As soon as that happened, what did they do? Full court presses. That's what they did. Came right at you, because they understand that lineup starting the second and fourth quarter, you have no ball handler. Play your lineups. Understand the flow of the game. Catch it. If they make a run, call timeout, change your lineup. Whenever they make a run, put SJ in the game. Period. Stop the flow. Not take J-Dub out, put him in. Don't leave J-Dub in there too. Take him out. We play much better when it's SGA, Kason, Caruso, Wiggins, and Ihart than you do with J-Dub, because you have a ball handler. You have a guy who can facilitate, make plays, get those guys where Wiggins is not trying to go to the basket, do all that dribbling. Just shoot wide open threes like you did in game 2. Caruso is making plays. Case is making wide open shots. And one thing that I did forget on this flow chart, Ihart, be aggressive. Make some shots. And then fourth and final thing, take J-Dub out in the second and fourth quarters when you bring SJ in. Take J-Dub out in the second and fourth quarters when you bring SJ in. You have to sit him in the fourth quarter for 3 to 4 minutes. Every time you do that, we make a run. I'm not saying keep him out a long time. 3 minutes, 4 minutes tops. And we'll make a run with that group. Every single time you can put the game away. He comes back in. He's relaxed. He's got sat out a few minutes. He can see where he can fit in with the flow, what that team is doing. Then you can bring him back in. But as I said many, many times on this show, winning is really simple. You take J-Dub out at the 5-minute mark of the first and third quarters. You take him out when you put SJ in the second and fourth quarters. Sit him for 3 minutes. You will win every single time. That's when we make our runs. But when you insist on doing what you do by trying to develop him, which I'm okay with, but not in the playoffs. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. And you can look back and listen to everything I'm saying and call me whatever, or you can pay attention to what I'm saying and then watch for yourself and see if I'm right or wrong. And the reason why I'm right and the reason why I keep saying this over and over and over is because I'm right. I'm trying to get you to understand what's happening. This is what you see. You think they don't see that? Coaches take advantage of you, the coach, every single time because they see what he does, and they take advantage of it. Then he's got to call another timeout because he just doesn't. He's stuck on what he's stuck on. And I believe it was in Minnesota. He took J-Dub out for 3 minutes. Fourth quarter, we went boom, 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 put the game away. He comes back. All of a sudden, J-Dub is relaxed and making shots, and he made a couple shots down the stretch. Why? Because you already pulled him out. Got him some rest. He can see where he fits back in. He can come back in and play. He's totally relaxed because now we made a run, and he don't feel like he's got to do anything. He's just got to close the door, help close the door. He didn't have to be the one to close the door. There's a difference. For those of you who haven't played, there's a difference between you closing the door, being counted on to close the door, versus you just being a part of the team that closes the door or the group. It's a different mentality. It's like when I always said before, I like playing with the commander and I like playing with Bill Self. Why? Because I knew what they always were going to be. If I did this, I knew they were going to do that. If I did that, I knew they were going to do this. Just like if he did this, he knows I'm going to do that. If he did that, he knows I'm going to do this. It's understanding what happens. It's not hard, but it is. The difference between having playmakers and guys who make plays. We'll take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for, what in the world? If you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit our guys up over at SRB. They love to take care of you, especially if you have a water treatment plant in your city or your county. They'll make sure you have clean drinking water. Oak Grove Trucking and my guy Jose Fierro. If you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, or if you're doing a project as far as the state highways, hit my guys up. They'll love to take care of you over there. And then of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the OKC area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go into one of their 5 locations, the main bank at 401M, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma, which is, of course, why he sent 66 bottles of YNB waters to Indianapolis for the Thunder. And then, of course, YNB East, located on the Parkway in 66, the US 66 or 39th Expressway. YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks, and I-40, just south of I-40, right there in Garth Brooks. And, of course, right in front of the hospital, can't miss it. And then, of course, YNB Peoples, located in Bethany on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then, guys, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. I just can't comment. I just can't tell you how good this stuff smells. I really can't. I don't know how to explain it to you. You've got to go by their locations and get some. And remember, just tell them that Matt Clark sent you and you've been watching the show, and it will hook you up with some samples. I can promise you, it is well worth it. It is so good, guys. It is so good. You can go to the Penn Square location, the dealers, of course, Woodland Hills Malls Woodland Hill Mall in Tulsa, Town East Mall in Wichita, Kansas, and yes, Pony Thompson, Oak Park Mall in Overland Park, Kansas, not Missouri, Kansas. Park Plaza Mall in Little Rock, and South Plains Mall in Lubbock, Texas, home of the Texas Tech Red Raiders, and then Westgate Mall in Amarillo. I still have not been to Amarillo. One day I'm going to have to go by there. So now, one thing let's talk about, guys. We talk about our team and our shooting because our shooting has been okay, but this is our playoffs. And I wish I'd have put it up where it's where we have the I had the season shooting versus playoffs. I wish I did the compare the two so you can see the difference. It's a huge difference. SGA 30.1, 47% from the field, 31% from three, 86% from the free throw line, 31% from three, 86 from the line. J-Dub, 20.5 points a game, 44% from the field, 31% from three, 77% from the free throw line. What did he miss? 5 free throws the other night. Chet, 16 points, 47% from the field, 30% from three, 78% from line, which, of course, he and J-Dub's numbers are going up. Caruso, just other than the mistake he made the other night, Caruso has been fantastic. We love Baldy. Somebody like Caruso. 9.5 points a game, 45% from the field, 43 from three, 81% from the field, from the free throw line. Ihart, the one thing I missed, like I said, the one thing I wanted for him, he needs to score more. He needs to be more aggressive. He really does. And it's just, I think it's hurting us by him not scoring back up in double figures. We're getting close to that again. Dort, Ihart, 60% of the field. He has not shot a three, has not made a three all year long. 68% from the free throw line going up. I don't mind him shooting free throws late. He's a good free throw shooter. Dort, 8.2, 36% from the field, 34 from three, 66 from the free throw line. Bro, you got to make free throws. That's just unacceptable. And you're a better free throw shooter than that. He's a 70% free throw shooter. 70, low 80s, high 70s. He's a better free throw shooter than that. Wiggins, 6 points a game, 41%, 35 from three. That needs to go up. 72% from the free throw line. Kaysen, 5.5, 5.4 points a game, 41% from the field. 28 from three. That's got to go up. And Isaiah Joe, 66% from the free throw line. Case, and that's unacceptable for you and Dort. Isaiah Joe, 40% from three is great, but they're just killing us because they're going after him. And then Kendrick Williams, I don't know if you play Kendrick. I don't know if you play J-Will. I just don't. And the reason why I don't know that is because of the simple fact of what they've been doing to us. Every time like in game two, they make a run, or we make a great decision by playing K. Rich. Then you come out and you turn around and you do the same thing in game three. Well, they're used to the big man lineup. They're used to that. We're playing Ihart and Chet. They got used to that. They adjusted. We didn't adjust. But here's where I believe the commander, he and I talked about this, Randy Wright, YMB. We talked about Kaysen's just not ready to start. He plays much better in the playoffs. Now, he did when J-Dub was hurt. He got into a great rhythm, and then when J-Dub came back, he's not been the same player since J-Dub was back that he was when J-Dub was gone. He played magnificent, and he has not been the same guy since. And it's because now trying to go from playing, okay, this is my role, to, ooh, I really like this role, to now, oh, I'm back to there again. It's like, I don't know, he's just not been the same guy. But he's due. He's due for a breakout. And it could happen tonight. But when you look at this team and you look at the starting lineups, I've seen a lot of people gripe about the fact that for 60 games, we started the Big Two. Well, first of all, they didn't play 60 games together. So that's not a case. But when you play the Big Two together, starting Chet and Ihart, the problem with what you're saying is then you've got to put Chet on Siakam. That in itself, if you got to guard Chet a little, Chet's got to guard him a couple of possessions. That's one thing. If Chet's got to guard him on a continual basis, that's something completely different. So I'm not really big on if I really want to do that with Chet and Siakam, the whole to start the game out. But that being said, that's something that they're not ready for. But they're not out rebounded by 17 either. They haven't. But I showed you in the stats earlier what it was. They shot 51% from the field. We had 19 turnovers to their 14. And remember, they had 25 turnovers game one. They had 15 turnovers game two. They had 14 turnovers game three. So their turnover percentage, they're taking care of the basketball. Now, what does that mean? If they're taking care of the basketball, that means that our defense is not doing its job and we're not getting out in transition, getting transitional baskets. Because what do we say? Turnovers equal transitional baskets equal floor of the game. And a lot of people say when the game is tight, what does that mean for the Thunder? Coach Dagnall gets out coached. We have basically a low, I don't even think we're 500 in games that are decided by 2 points or 3 points or whatever. Or we're barely 500 because we've had blown so many teams out because of our defense. And when the games are close, you have to make the right moves and do the right things in order to win close games. Now, the way I look at it is Game 3 was an anomaly. Just like Game 3 was an anomaly against Minnesota. Game 3 was an anomaly against Denver. Game 3 was an anomaly against Dallas. We know that those games aren't us. Game 3 against Denver, we just choked. SJ was non-factor. He missed shots down the stretch like he did in Game 1. And what do I say? Every time he plays bad, what does he do? He came back, destroyed them in Game 2. Played bad in Game 3. What's he going to do? He's going to come out and be way more aggressive in Game 4, I can promise you. We're going to play better tonight. So I'm looking forward to that aspect of it. But it's going to come down to coaching. Can you get out of your own way? And the commander asked me that, is he going to be able to get out of his own way? Have people ask me, can he get out of his own way? I don't know. That's my answer. I don't know if he can get out of his own way. He has the he can. He understands what he should and shouldn't do. That's evident. But does he? Can he? Will he? Don't know. Is he going to play players 2 minutes too long? Is he not going to understand flow of the game and when he's gonna his lineups and when he plays people too long, 2 minutes too long? Is he going to understand, oh, well, this group is not working. Let me go ahead and make a quick decision instead of waiting. Is he going to feel the flow of one way or the other? If we're winning and we're blowing teams out, if we're getting on a run, they call timeout. Are you going to keep the same lineup in there again? 2 minutes too long. Or are you going to change? And so next time when they make a run, come out, you got a different lineup. So whatever decisions they made are not there anymore because they don't have the same team playing. Those are the things that we're going to have to look for tonight. What's going to happen with him? Is he going to make the correct plays? Is he going to be the coach he was in Game 7 where you do Caruso against Jokic? Is he going to be where you put K-Rich against against Randall? What is it going to be? Is the commander right? Do you want to go ahead and start two bigs to start the game off? Is it better to start Caruso? Well, the problem is if you start Caruso, the biggest issue that you have there is what? Caruso's better coming off the bench, but so is Kayson. Do you start Wiggins at that point? Commander and I talked about that. Do you put Wiggins in there? Nathan and I have talked about Wiggins and how great he's been as a starter with the Thunder over his career. You go back and look at the number of games he started and how many we've won and how many we've lost. I can promise you we're 10-3, 11-2, something like that. It's crazy. But here's my breakdown. This is the issue. If we see this SGA tonight, okay, If we see this SGA tonight, we will win. If he gets the supporting players. If we see the SGA that's had 9 straight 30-point playoff games, which tied Wilt Chamberlain. Now, of course, this is a road game, but I'm saying the mentality and the efficiency. That's what I'm talking about. Is he going to be back where he scored the most points that he scored in 2 games, his first 2 career finals, and then laid an egg in game 3? He's got 11 30-point games and 5 assists in playoff history, ties LeBron and Jordan at 11. Is he going to break that? Is this going to be another 30 and 5 for him to break that record? He's had 30 points and 5 assists in 84 of his 94 games during the season, or up to this point. Now it's 84 of 95. 72 consecutive games of scoring 20 points or more. Tied KD's record all time since the merger. Him and Michael Jordan are the only players that average 30 points a game and shoot 50% for 3 straight years. Are we going to see this SJ tonight? Or are we going to see the one that we saw the other night? Which one are we going to see? If we see that SGA, we're going to win. Which J-Dub are we going to see? Are we going to see the J-Dub that we saw in Game 7 against Denver? Game 1 against Minnesota? Are we going to see the same Chet we saw in Game 7 and Game 1? Or are we going to see those two that we saw in Game 3 or that we saw in Game 1 of this series? What are we going to see? And Game 5 also, they had great Game 5s against Minnesota. Which ones are we going to see? They're 2-2. What are we going to see? What are we going to see out of those two? Is Wiggins going to quit trying to put the ball on the floor and make all these dribbles with his behind the back dribble that he tries to do every time is terrible? Or is he just going to catch the ball and shoot threes and get up, if he don't have a play, get rid of the basketball? Is Kason going to be able to knock down the threes, continue to play defense and be smart and pay attention and just don't try to get rid of the basketball and pay attention to what the defense is doing and recognize they're trapping us? Take care of the basketball. Caruso, what you're going to do? Are you going to be able to play defense and shut them down and make wide open threes and get turnovers, get some steals, have a 3 or 4 steal game? Are you going to be able to do that? Is that what we're going to do? iHeart, please, are we going to be the one guy that you're taking 2 or 3 shots, or are you going to be the guy that takes 8 shots and you shoot 5 floaters? And you're aggressive and you're looking to score instead of looking to pass the ball over and over and over. I don't need you to take him off the dribble and shoot a layup. I just need you to catch it. Pass, move, catch, shoot a floater. Shoot a floater, floater, floater. And by the way, and thank God have we not heard push shot one time during the playoffs in the NBA Finals or the finals, conference finals, semifinals. We haven't heard push shot, not one time. And how many times did you hear it on the Thunder broadcast? 5 or 6 times. We haven't heard it one time. You know why? Because there's no such shot as a push shot. This is a professional broadcast with professional people who understand the game. They're not trying to create some stupid shot that doesn't exist. It's a floater. It's so nice I don't have to listen to that nonsense. Them trying to be creative or whatever the hell they're trying to do. There's no such thing as a push shot. It's a floater. Call it what the hell it is. Act knowledgeable. Now, SGA, are you going to go get the ball? Are you going to be aggressive like we talked about to open the show? Are you going to be aggressive? Are you going to get the ball instead of standing there and letting everybody else try to make plays? Or are you going to be the playmaker and let everybody else just make plays off you being the playmaker? Or are you going to sit back and be passive and let everybody else try to be playmakers, which they're not capable of? They're guys who make plays. You are the playmaker. Act like it. J-Dub, quit trying to dribble. That's not, you don't have the handles, bro. They're too good defensively. Nembhard, Naismith, they're too good. They're not going to let you sit there dribble. They're not you going anywhere with that. You're not going anywhere. You dribble too high. You don't have the ability. That's not who you are. That is not your skill set. Try developing a left hand over the summer, please. You shoot a right hand floater every time, or a right hand teardrop every time. What about using your left? My kids will tell you they're going left. They're using a left hand teardrop or left hand floater. They're going right. They're using a right hand teardrop or right hand floater. You do the same thing every time. Y'all don't even have. Everybody talks about how today's players are more skilled. No, they're not. Skilled players can use either hand. These guys use right hand only. They don't have left hands. They might be doing left hand layup, but that's it. They're not more skilled. It's crazy. More athletic, 100%. But the Thunder know what they need to do. You have to stop them in transition. Don't let them get out in transition, get transitional baskets, which they killed us tonight or the other night. You have to take care of the basketball. 19 turnovers. Are you serious? And remember, they've gone 25, 15, 14 in turnovers. Got to change that trend. Can we get it done? 100%. Will we? We'll see. So that being said, I'm going to pack up and get ready to do the show tonight at our remote location, so I'm excited about that. So let's get together. Let's know Game 4, Thunder up. We're going to get it done. We're going to win. That's what's going to happen. You believe it? I believe it. We're 0-4 in Game 3s. Let's be 4-0 in Game 4s. We got this. Everybody get ready for tonight. I know it's going to be loud. I know you'll be there. And, of course, on After the Storm tonight, we will be on the air after the game tonight, 30 minutes or so afterwards. So hopefully everybody will tune in to After the Storm OKC Thunder. And like, subscribe, hit notification. Okay, guys? That being said,